Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Friday, April the 29th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here to discuss the one-game NBA showdown slate for this evening. It's a 9 p.m. Eastern game, and it may be a closeout. It may not be. We will see how this game goes. We've got Minnesota and Memphis playing in Minnesota, and it's a chance for Memphis to close out this series 4-2. So it is the same scenario that we had yesterday for three road teams, all winning 3-2 going into each game and all closing out the series and not forcing any game sevens. So we had three winners last night. Memphis is trying to follow that trend tonight and close out the T-Wolves. Should be a very intense game. It's been a super competitive series, a lot of emotions back and forth. So we will see how this one goes. Hopefully we get another one of those insane Ja Morant dunks. A couple of the dunks in this series have been epic. I mean, Michael Jordan kind of dunks, literally jumping over people. So pretty cool stuff. All right, a couple of things real quickly before we get started. If you're checking this out on YouTube, please take a second to hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button. That means a ton to us. We bring this to you in front of the paywall every day for NBA and MLB. And the most important thing for us is we move up that algorithm on YouTube. And we do that by getting that thumbs up and having you subscribe. And while you're at it, so you don't forget when our podcast posts, because now that we're having different times for baseball starts and some of the basketball contests will start later, like tonight's at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have some different times for the podcast popping up. And if you hit the little alert button in that upper corner, that alarm button, you'll know when every podcast post that we put up there. We also tonight, if you'd love to join us, hit us up. You can join for as little as 3 days for $10. Or if you want, give me a shout on Twitter. I'm at Joe Sarvati, JoeSarvadi. If you let me know directly that you want to try us out for free, maybe we'll shoot you a 3-day pass to check us out for the weekend. We want to get everybody in there during our hottest time of the year, which is right now during the NBA playoffs and during Major League Baseball. We have had 2 fantastic years in a row in that time stretch, and we would love to prove to you what we've got. We've got a phenomenal team with us at Coach Talk. It's incredible to work with such a fantastic group. Brett's been with me from the beginning. He does all of our behind-the-scenes stuff. Certainly, Josh Crash Davis is handling baseball along with Mike S., and they're contributing a ton and doing really well. Deb has joined the team and been fantastic for us with NBA. And then our man Colin, he's like the wizard behind the drapes. He does a little bit of everything from handling our projections and our for ownership and player projections. He does a lot of our social media and Twitter. So Colin Chachoff, our MVP in the clubhouse right now. Not that everybody else isn't awesome. And I think Josh Crash Davis also could get a vote there. But our whole team makes it work. So I'm thankful to them. Come check us out. Free opportunity to check us out. And we'd love to have you. All right, let's get into this NBA slate because it's a showdown. So everything is different. It's a completely different setup. And we have to look at it differently is basically what it comes down to. So we're going to do that right now. Let's take a look. First of all, it's Memphis by 1.5. It's a 229.5 total, 115.5 implied for Memphis, 114 for Minnesota. So Vegas thinks this is going to be a hell of a game, and I have to agree with them. I think it's going to be a really good one. As far as any injury designations here, let's see what we have. We have, there it is. Nothing for Minnesota. They're all in. They're ready to go. For Memphis, we have Zaire Williams doubtful. So it does not look like he'll get any minutes off the bench for them. Steven Adams is out. He's pretty much been played out of this series anyway, but he's officially out along with Aldama and Tilly, who we get to mention and waste 3-4 seconds on every single day. But we do wish the best for Mr. Aldama and Tilly. All right, let's talk a little bit about a couple different things here to start off. Go a little bit different direction. Let's look at the pricing, because there's totally different schools of thought here when you're building your lineups. On DraftKings, and we provide for DraftKings, Fanduel, and Yahoo, and Prizepicks. So we're a one-stop shop for you. So on DraftKings, you have to choose a captain, and he is going to cost you some serious bucks. It's 1.5 times his salary. So on FanDuel and Yahoo, you don't have that situation. They are weighted as far as how much they count for, but you don't have to worry about the pricing. On DraftKings, you do. So, for example, Ja Morant is 7-7 as a captain spot. He's 11-8 as a utility player. So, pricing wise, I just wanted to go over this on DraftKings. If you choose the captain spot, because that really dictates how you can build out your lineup, you have 7-7 Ja, Cat 16-5. I'm sorry, 17-7 Ja, 16-5 Cat. Ant is 4-1, Bane 12-9, Russell 12-3. Sometimes people like to go way down to the bottom, save a ton of money on the buy up here. And if you want to play somebody like a Vanderbilt at 6-9, Xavier Tillman's only 4-8. Those guys are getting some minutes. Tyus Jones 7-2. It does allow you to put 2 studs at least in your utility spots. So lots of different ways to attack this. As far as, let's look at recency. We've been doing that, and it's really helped us build some winning lineups. So let's take a look at what these two teams did in this very last game that Memphis won 111-109 to go up 3-2 in this series. As far as shots attempted, I always like to really start off with that. Ant led Minnesota with 20. Cat only had 15, D'Angelo 10, but they did have a ton of other guys with shots, and this was a close game. Malik Beasley got up 8, Naz Reid 7, Taurean Prince 8, Vanderbilt only 5, Pat Bev 6. So they used their bench, and a lot of guys contributed. That makes it even harder when you're building these lineups, especially in a showdown slate like this. But as far as minutes, that's another thing. Minutes equal money here. D'Angelo led him with 39 minutes. Ant and Cat both played 35. After that, huge drop-off. And Coach Jenkins really used his bench. Vanderbilt only played 22, Pat Bev 27. And then all of a sudden, just huge minutes for these bench guys. Prince almost 19. Jaden McDaniels, 18. Jordan McLaughlin, 18. Beasley, 14. So, I mean, you've got some bench guys here that you can roll the dice on, but huge, floor here for some of these guys. There's no saying how many minutes, if any, that a McLaughlin gets. We know Reed backs up Cat. 13 minutes generally isn't getting it done, but he did get 7 shots up in that time frame. So we've got to, dig in on this. Of course, as a captain spot, again, you've got 2 different strategies. Ant is pretty expensive, and so is Cat, but those would be the 1-2 options for me. If you are hoping for a ceiling game from a Pat Bev or maybe even from a Jared Vanderbilt, he's done that at times, but he's back sort of into that split with McDaniels, it looks like. So you can look at that direction. So it gives you a few options there. For Memphis, it was, and by the way, I said Coach Jenkins for Minnesota. That was wrong. Coach Jenkins is the coach for Memphis. And what Coach Jenkins did is he used really 6 guys pretty much most of the game. Tyus Jones did get 20 minutes, Kyle Anderson 17. So they were on the outside looking in. But the majority of their play were would be the guys that I would recommend for a captain spot. Obviously, Ja, he played almost 45 minutes. He was 9 for 22. Desmond Bane played the exact same, almost 45 minutes, 9 for 20. Those are the two key guys that are going to get the most shots up. Ja threw in 13 rebounds for that little dude, 9 assists, 3 steals. So, Ja's probably going to be chalked as far as the captain in this game. Let's just face it. And you can make every case that he can. I mean, they can eliminate Minnesota here. And, this is a huge game for them. And it is, it's at home. So it's a game 6. No, it's at Minnesota. I'm sorry about that. So they definitely want to finish this out. They don't want it to go 7. So Ja and then Bane 1-2 probably for your captain, or definitely making your lineup on DraftKings. Dylan Brooks got up 18 shots, but he only hit 3 of them. 16% is not really going to get it done. He's a boomer bust guy a lot of the times. Certainly can make your lineup, but he can also break it. He only had 8 points and getting up 18 shots, 1 for 10 from 3. A little stingy there. Even I know that's 10%, and that's not 10% of much. Not a lot of peripherals either for him. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, which is okay, but in 36 minutes, you expect more. Where it gets a little dicey is the guy I've rostered him every single time, and I'm probably going to do it again, and that's Brandan Clark. He played 37 minutes. He's basically been the guy that's taken all of Adams' minutes and included it with some of his backup minutes. So he's playing a lot, and he's been fantastic. This was another scenario, 9 for 14, 65% from the field, 15 rebounds too. And he's going to get you stocks. He had a block in this game. So Clark, high on my radar. If you want to go with a cheaper captain, he could be a guy that isn't going to be as owned as much in that captain spot. So he's getting a lot of minutes there. The other guys, to consider, Xavier Tillman's now playing a role with Adams out. He played 16 minutes, but a lot of times he's not going to do much. But if he gets hot, he can hit some threes as well. After that, it's more of a risk with a Kyle Anderson or Tyus Jones. Maybe they can get there. They're both effective when they are, but certainly a big floor there as well. So let's go back to that pricing again. In the utility spot, you've got some really good value plays, and I'm going to share a few of those with you right now. If McLaughlin gets minutes at 2,000, I mean, what the heck? It's hard not to, to give him a look, because he does allow you to play a whole nother, another guy in there. And he did get 17 minutes, and you can get an extra stud if you really want to. Risky, though. McDaniels at 2,800 is another big value. Same with Xavier Tillman at 32. Some people like to roll the dice on Beasley. You talk about a streak shooter. He's only 4,000, but man, he can sting you big time. I would personally prefer the other 2 value plays here, 4,600 Vanderbilt or 4,800 Tyus Jones, because Tyus does get some minutes next to Ja at times, and he usually takes advantage of those minutes. So you've got a bunch of value there, which really does lead to most of my builds looking like, as much as you can do a stars and scrubs in a showdown slate. I think it does allow you to split your team between maybe not the most expensive captain. I don't know if I'll go with Ja, because that would be 17.7, Cat 16.5. It's much easier if you go with Edwards at 14.1 or Bane at 12.9 at captain. That's probably the general spot I'm looking. And then using Morant or Towns along with either Russell, Clark, and Brooks. Those guys are the main guys that I'll fill out my roster with those value plays included. I don't think I'll go as much of a medium build There are some options, though. Jaren Jackson, if you have the guts for that, he's not getting huge minutes. He's sort of yielded to Clark, and he also gets in foul trouble. But we also know he can have 5 blocks and really get it done. He's only 72. Brooks is 7,000. Granted, he was 3 for 18 or whatever and 1 for 10 from 3, but he doesn't have a conscience. That dude just is going to shoot it. Whether it's going in or not, it's going up. So he is an option if you do go more toward that middle build. And Patrick Beverly at 6,800, another guy that we know, can get you a bunch of steals and really get busy there. So I'm going to also, since we have a little bit extra time, just to quickly go over Fanduel and Yahoo on the pricing. Now on Fanduel and Yahoo, it's that tiered megastar, superstar, or star, or as that's on Yahoo. On Fanduel, it's called MVP, Star, and Pro. And you get 2 times, 1.5, and 1.2 times for the top 3, and then just 2 other utility players. So the bottom line is you don't have to pay more for the expensive guys. You just get, not like DraftKings. On these 2, you just plug them into those spots. So there's going to be a ton of copycat type lineups that everybody's going to have. Ja and Cat and Bain and Edwards, specifically Ja and Cat. They'll be the MVP and star selection on FanDuel and the Megastar and Superstar on most lineups. So if you want to be contrarian, you can mix it up. You can mix up the order if you think one guy is going to go over the other. But you don't really need to go very deep on either one of these. Really, the pool that I'm looking at for FanDuel and Yahoo are Ja Morant, Cat, Desmond Bain, Edwards, Clark, Russell, Beverly, and Brooks. That's the group that I'm working from. If you want a flyer, if you want differentiation, you can put a Jaren Jackson, Jared Vanderbilt, Tyus Jones, but I wouldn't go any further than that. That top 7 or 8 really are the guys to work with. A lot of the times it's just the order that you put them in, because remember, there's no penalty for more salary for either one. So that's the advice I would give there. And then let's jump to Prize Picks as well. Prize Picks, I do have 2 plays I'm going to give out here. I have some other plays that I'm going to give out on our Discord for our members. Also, we give out a core group for both cash and GPP for DraftKings. We give out full lineups, cash and GPP, FanDuel, and Yahoo. So hopefully, we'll be able to share those with our members. We're going to be posting those today at 6:30. The game starts at 9. That's Eastern. So it gives you some time as a member to look at it, listen to the podcast, move them around a little bit. If you want to be a little bit different, if you're going to mass entry, you certainly can take a little bit more, GPP-ish look to your lineups and go from there. So on Prize Picks, my first play, and again, it's going to be controversial here because he shot so horribly, but I'm going Dillon Brooks. I mean, I've seen this guy too long. He gets so intense defensively and so into the games, and it feeds into his offense. And I think he's getting as many shots up as he did last time. If he gets 15 to 18 shots up like he did, I think he's going to score over 15.5 points. That's his total, 15.5 real points on Prize Picks for Dillon Brooks. And I really do think it's a solid play because he gets to the line, he can make some foul shots, and he is a momentum kind of guy. And he's the kind of guy, that you want in a closeout game. And he's the kind of guy that shows up for that. I know he missed a lot of shots last time, but I think he'll have a bounce back here. I mean, if I'm down at the local Y and I'm playing pickup ball in this game, I mean, Jaw's Jaw, but Dillon Brooks is going to be one of the guys I take first. I love those dogs that just will dive through the wall and get it done. They're going to find a way to get some points, get to the line. And I think he's a nice little play at 15.5 regular real points on FanDuel, on Prize Picks. All right. As far as my next pick, it's a 3-pointers made. And believe it or not, I'm going to go a little bit different here than most people would expect. I'm going with Patrick Beverley. It's only 1.5. He's a guy that gets up some threes. And so my prize picks plays are contrarian. So you know that I like a little Brooks and Beverly in some of my DFS lineups as well. Beverly, everything I said about Dylan Brooks plus a little bit. You know he's going to be fired up. And they leave him unguarded a lot at 3 because they're having to focus on, Ant and Russell and Cat. So he's going to get some wide open looks. And if he gets, some wide open threes up there, I think he can make 2 of them. I feel very confident that he's going to show up and get that done. And I think he's a nice little play as well. So little contrarian on both of these. Not that you need to be. We can all play the same thing. It's us against prize picks. But I just think these are 2 sneaky, nice little plays. Dylan Brooks over 15.5 real points. Patrick Beverley over 1.5 made threes. And again, I will be releasing some more of those to our members. So that is really what we've got here. We've got a humongous baseball slate today. So definitely listen into the MLB podcast that Crash posted earlier. That's very informative. We'll be posting all our baseball lineups as well. So great time to be a part of Coach Talk. We would love to have you. Hopefully this gave you a little feel on a showdown slate. We're going to start dealing with some of those now that teams are being eliminated in the NBA playoffs. We'll have a lot of 2-game slates, and we're going to have some showdown slates as we get down to the nitty-gritty. So the strategy is important, and how we're building and you're thinking of those lineups. And it's phenomenally different from DraftKings as opposed to Fanduel and Yahoo. So we'll talk through those each day on this podcast. Make sure to prepare you to get ready for some takedowns. So thank you so much for listening in. Certainly we'll be back again tomorrow. I believe Crash is joining me tomorrow for basketball, and I'll probably join him for baseball as well. We'll do the dual sport doubleheader and get after it on Saturday. Thank you so much for listening in. Really appreciate every one of you on the way out. Hit that YouTube thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button and the alert button. If you're not involved with Prize Picks, got to do it, man. They're the best. Go to prizepicks.com. If you haven't done it yet and it's your first sign up, they're going to match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100 if you use the promo code Coach Talk. All one word, no space. So you sign up. If you put $100 in, promo code Coach Talk, you get a free $100 and plops it right into your account. No drip, no nothing. It's in there. You can play it and get after it, and it's going to be a great weekend. If you're a member too, and we're going to have our PGA weekend lineups, excited for that, as John Rahm's been crushing it for us so far. So you want to join us for that. So tonight we'll have basketball, baseball, golf, and we're going to have all that through the weekend. DFSCoachTalk.com. Check us out. Sign up. Shoot me a note on Twitter at Joe Sarvati. We'll get you in there for free. If you want to check us out on Twitter, it's at DFS Coach Talk. And if you're looking for baseball info, you can check out Crash Davis at JP Davis 1982. That is it, my friends. We'll be back tomorrow for basketball, baseball, and golf, and we'll have podcasts here with Crash and I, and we'll definitely take a look for you. So good luck tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow. After we crush it today, we're going to crush it again tomorrow here at DFS Coach Talk. Have a great one.